Okay, we're back. We are going to continue our series of top 10 songs from our bands that we love. Mike and Mark here. Uh, we are going to feature UFO this time. Uh, UFO is out of United Kingdom. They started actually out in the late 60s and didn't really come into the mainstream until somewhere around 73-ish. But the first two albums really weren't hard rock like their future stuff was. But we are going to go ahead and get it started now. Okay, my list coincidentally is going to have a lot of similarities with the infamous live album Strangers in the Night, which is the thumbnail for the video here. It was kind of like my introduction to them when I got into them. But there's a lot of great stuff on here. First song, probably my favorite song from them, the title track to Lights Out. Just an incredible rockin' song. It's really hard not to like that. It's incredible. Same album, kind of a different kind of UFO song, but I think it's absolutely fantastic. It's called Love to Love. I don't know if I said it. That's on the Lights Out album as well, and just a fantastic song. Kind of starts out slow and builds and builds and builds, and then a big chunk of the next ones are all on the live album. First one is Shoot Shoot, just an incredible song and a big live favorite. Same with Out in the Street, a big one. The next two are probably two of their biggest live songs ever, went during their heyday. Doctor Doctor and Rock Bottom. Rock Bottom really kind of highlights the talents of Michael Schenker, who actually apparently came into the group when he was like 17 or 18, and he was kind of a volatile personality, but he did some amazing things. A couple others from the live album, Mother Mary, another great tune, and then the more radio friendly Too Hot to Handle, which is still a fantastic song. And Only You Can Rock Me, that's another one, another radio tune. I say radio tune, but very little airplay. But my last song is an interesting one. It's from the album Obsession, and actually it's just unbelievable. I absolutely love it, and it's so different from the rest of their stuff, but it's still just incredible. It's got strings and power and great vocals. Looking Out for Number One. I always had a soft spot for that. That and Lights Out are probably my two favorite songs from the band. Like I said, a lot of that stuff is from the live album. Their songs filtered in from Force It, a couple from Lights Out and Obsession, and then the What's the other one?
No heavy petting?
No Heavy Petting. Now my honorable mention, Highway Lady, which I believe is from No Heavy Petting.
Yep.
Electric Phase, which is from Lights Out. Pack It Up and Go, another good rocker from Lights Out. Natural Thing, great song, great live. Let It Roll. Can You Roll Her? And the last song is the only post Schenker song that I have. And it's on here because it was pretty much my introduction to the band. Back when I was a kid, I really didn't know anything about them. I wasn't really aware of the band. But the song Mystery Train from No Place to Run, I always liked the song. I didn't know anything about the band. I liked it. Just a 17-year-old kid that liked rock music, and it was like I said, my introduction. I liked it, and so I put it in my my honorable mentions. So that's 7 honorable mentions, and that's pretty much what I got. You are up, dude.
So, UFO and me, I must admit, I really wasn't a fan until mid to late 90s, probably. I mean, I knew the radio hits, Too Hot to Handle, and Lights Out,
Only You
Can Rock Me. Those were probably the three that I knew. But I pretty much ignored them until I don't know what happened, why I got into them, how I got into them.
Actually, I think I got you into them.
You might have, because
Yeah.
I don't
My friend,
know how I got
yeah.
the exposure.
Yeah, my friend Jeff Seib introduced me to him.
Yeah.
Because I knew some of it. He goes, man, you got to listen to this. He said, this is like the best live album ever. And good grief, how many times have you heard that?
Right. Everybody says that.
And I really, like, growing up, I was not into live music, live albums.
Right.
And, but he was right on this. And then I kind of started getting, I was buying vinyl back then. And then I was pretty sure that I was the one that said, hey, there's more out there than just the four radio songs. And I just said, hey, check it out. If you like it, you like it. You know?
Yeah, I'm sure, because I somehow I had to, and I'm sure it was you. I never had the live album until later on, probably in the 2000s some point, and I really haven't given it that many listens to really have an opinion on it, if it's as great as everybody always claims. But I have grown to just absolutely adore these guys. They're incredible. Now, my rating is just all based on the 5 Schenker albums, their 3rd through 7th albums, and then No Place to Run happened, and they came up. Schenker left, and they had a new guitarist on No Place to Run, and the title track on that, by the way, gets an outside honorable mention from me. I have always loved, since I first found out, No Place to Run. As a matter of fact, I bought that album just for that song, No Place to Run.
Yeah. I'll tell you something real quick and let you get back to your list, but I wanted to say something while I was thinking about this. There's a documentary out there that just came out on YouTube about this live album. It's interesting. I emailed it to you.
Yeah.
And it's about 45 minutes. It's a great watch. And basically they talk about the band. They talk about their life with Schenker in this album. But they said, the band insisted on very little, if any. There was overdubbing or anything. I mean, what they played is what you got. It was basically from 2 shows nothing was fixed after the fact. They didn't, redo anything, and I think that's the thing that they're most proud of, and they just feel like the playing and everything about it is first class. So you need to watch that documentary. It's a good watch.
Yeah. So these are from those 5 albums, and evidently Schenker came back a couple times over the years, maybe more than a couple, but he's, I know he was on Walk on Water, and I think there's another 1 or 2 albums that he came back on. They've got quite a big discography. I've got 7 of their albums, but there's probably another 10 or 12. And what I hear is they're pretty damn good. Even without Schenker, they're pretty good. Of course, I love Phil Moog's vocals.
Yeah.
He's a great singer, but that's something that I may look into as I just keep buying albums. I might go a little further with UFO.
Yeah.
Just for the fun of it.
It's weird. It's almost like they were just on the fringe of being big time. You had like and they talked about it on the documentary. You got your Thin Lizzies, your Deep Purples, and Zeppelin and people like that. All those first tier hard rockers. Yeah. And UFO really, for some reason, didn't catch on like the others.
Right. You're right.
And you know what though? I'd have to look, but during their heyday, all those other bands had top 40 radio airplay. And I don't think UFO ever did. And I think that's a big reason. They didn't say it, but if you think about it, that's probably is a big reason.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. But all their fans are just, their music is just beloved by the fans, I'm sure.
Yep.
And certainly they should have been big time. Don't know what happened, management or whatever, for whatever, or bad breaks or record companies or whatever.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. But the cool thing is, they up until just recently they've been putting out albums, and I think Phil Moog's I think he just called it quits, or is about to call it quits, or whatever. So anyway, so on my top 10 from, I don't have anything from Phenomenon, their third album, on my top 10, but I from Force It, Out in the Street. Right off the bat, that's incredible. Well, all these songs I just consider these 18 are just incredible. From No Heavy Petting, Highway Lady, probably one of my favorite UFO songs. From Lights Out, the title track. Too Hot to Handle. A song that one of my favorites, Just Another Suicide, great song. And Getting Ready, another good song.
Yeah, it is.
And then the last 4 from Obsession, Only You Can Rock Me, Ain't No Baby, Looking Out for Number 1, of course, and Cherry. I love Cherry from when I first heard it, or first got to know it in the 90s. As far as honorable mentions, I don't have, in listening to your top songs, I don't have on my list Electric Phase and Natural Thing, but those are 2 songs that easily could have made it into my honorable mentions, but didn't. I do have Dr. Doctor from Phenomenon, and I do have Shoot Shoot from Force It, And also Mother Mary. That easily could have been in my top 10.
Yeah.
Mother Mary is just a classic.
Yes, it is.
And I'm thinking right now, why isn't it in my top 10? And Let It Roll as well from Fawcett.
No.
3 from No Heavy Petting. I'm a Loser. Belladonna. Belladonna's a great kind of ballady song.
That's not on my radar.
Yeah.
I need to check that out. I don't know how.
Oh, you know the song, though, right? It's a great song. It's kind of a ballady song.
Right now, off the top of my head, no.
Yeah.
So it's something I need to check out.
Yeah. And then A Martian Landscape. That's a really cool song. Really kind of different song, but really cool. And then, like you, I've got Love to Love from the, I think it's the last song on Lights Out.
Yes, it is.
I think that was always said to be a concert, classic.
Yeah.
It was always played, maybe as the encore or something.
Yeah,
Concert,
the big
concert favorite.
Yeah, the big ones were Dr. Rock Bottom, Lights Out, Love to Love. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, it was as always fun going through this list, and I'm so happy that I got into UFO and realized later on what I missed in the late '70s with such a great hard rock band, and just fantastic.
Yeah. Yep. I look at it. You got songs I don't have, and they're great. And I think I'm looking at this. I go, I got a couple songs you don't have, and I think they're great too. I mean, there's a lot of great stuff to pick from.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't have clunkers on their albums.
No.
Not really.
No.
You could almost go with anything, and
yeah, there might have been a few B and C pluses, but nothing C or below that I can even think of.
No.
There didn't seem like there was ever much filler on their albums. So I give them just a ton of credit. We're a very talented band.
Yep. All right. Well, that's it for UFO. That was fun, and thanks for watching. And let us know what you think. Like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks.